A few days ago, a friend of mine designed this really cool forest set for a stop motion she was making. Coincidentally, I also bought a Lego Star Wars set around the same time, and everything just sort of came together from there. This vertical slice of a stop motion you just watched solely exists because I indulged on the creative whimsy of using her set to play with Legos. There were a lot of limitations going into this that I knew I would need to deal with. I really wanted to create an illusion that this battle we had been dropped into the middle of extended beyond the camera's borders. To do this, I shot the set from different angles to give the impression of a much larger space. I reused minifigures between shots to give the impression that there were more than four. I added sound effects of distant tanks and gunships in post, and I added blaster fire coming on and off screen from unknown sources, all these effects hopefully working together to make the world feel more alive. Now, this could have also been fixed by simply buying more Legos, building a bigger set, but that would have obviously taken far more money and time, and more importantly, motivation. This isn't my magnum opus, it's a Lego brick film, and a solo venture. I knew going into this that it'd only be a matter of time before other creative pressures and responsibilities would take greater precedent. And what I've learned from this experience is I'd rather have created something imperfect than not create anything at all. So yeah, I did only have 2 desk lamps for the lighting, but that was enough. I was even able to use them to create the impression of an off-screen explosion too. My iPhone's camera gets nudged every time I hit the button, but if I push it very carefully and adjust the angle in post, the effect is negligible. I had white tack clearly visible on each character's feet, but I'll be honest, I'm not really too worried about breaking the viewer's immersion here. As a little tangent, I think it's funny that if you close your eyes, you can very easily make yourself believe you're listening to one of the darker episodes of the Clone Wars. It just makes the whole thing so much more absurd, and absurd is interesting. Now, look, this isn't to say that the entire creative process was just a collection of compromises. There were aspects of it that just turned out exactly as I envisioned, and that was super satisfying. I wasn't able to find any good lasers or muzzle flashes off Google Images, so I just went into Krita and designed my own in like 5 minutes. It was great. In fact, the entire process of adding VFX, sound effects, adjusting lighting, timing the shots frame by frame, it was all really straightforward. DaVinci Resolve is an incredibly intuitive and robust piece of editing software, and it's also just completely free. For all the changes I'd make to this project, were I to do it again, I'd probably keep my workflow for all of post-production exactly the same. Putting that aside, I actually think the greatest success of this short was in limiting its scope and completing it really fast. 1 day to shoot, 2 days to edit. And that was it. That was all the time it took to get this animation from not existing to your phone. I broke my hiatus of not posting anything on YouTube of 4 years with a Lego brick film I made in less than 4 days. Turns out that constant feedback loop of iteration and constructive criticism is a really good way to learn, but more importantly, it's also really fun. And that's the big takeaway. I had a lot of fun doing this.